Back up.
Yeah, I think we are rolling.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our December Magic and Wisdom of Essential Oils. I am so excited to introduce our guest this morning. He is a husband and father of 4 children, ages 16 to 8. He has got an amazing background. It almost looks like my background. I've done so many things, but he's done everything from running a restaurant to teaching science at high school, being a coach, growing up in the Midwest, all of the things that I can relate to. And I am excited to introduce the one of the owners and founders of Nature Packaged, Dan TenNapel. And welcome, welcome, welcome. How in the world did you go
Welcome,
from
Dan.
all of that to essential oils and bringing them here to us in unique ways?
Yeah, so first, thanks so much for having me. It's just an honor to be on your show today. And yeah, it's funny how the world works and how where you think you're headed in life is not always where you end up. When I was younger, I didn't have dreams of, you know, traveling around the world searching for essential oils. But that's where I am today, and I love it. And it's been such a fun kind of journey to take all the experiences from, yeah, some of those different backgrounds that I've had and apply them into this new and fun industry of essential oils, and then be able to share some of the stories and just amazing products that we're finding with the world.
I want to talk a minute about some of your mission statements. And when I was on your website, I've been a member, I think, of Nature Packaged for a year and a half now, and have gotten many of the oils. Helichrysum, I think, has been my favorite. But one of your mission statements is to bring transparency to the world of sourcing essential oils. And when I read that, I'm like,
Yep.
oh my goodness, finally somebody who's speaking my language in the world of aromatherapy and forming these partnerships with these producers and making them the star of the show. I know, growing up in the Midwest and seeing how traditional agriculture is done, where they're stripping the land and adding chemicals, and that's leaching into the water systems, and it's not really supporting
Mhm.
anything or anybody. And to see you, somebody from the Midwest, taking on this mission, I am so proud of what you're doing.
Yeah, thanks. I think I grew up around in farming communities as well, and I've always had a heart for that. My grandpas were both farmers, and my parents both grew up on farms. And I think in this story of these products, I think there's a couple heroes. We are certainly not the hero of the story. We
Mm.
are just someone who's trying to connect. One of the heroes, with I really think, is the people who produce these products, and they're in these remote parts of the world, and the way this industry works is they want to kind of hide that source oftentimes, because they don't want somebody else to know where they're getting their products from. And so the story of these people is so often hidden, and they're incredible people from incredible places, and we want to share their story, and also just bring awareness to what they're doing, and help their businesses grow. And then, we think the other hero of the story is the end user, who gets to, change their home and make their home more natural, and get all the health benefits from these products. And so we see ourselves just fitting in as this, just this guide in the middle, who gets to, take this hero and this hero over here and try to connect them together, and watch hopefully both of their lives receive some benefit from that.
Yeah, I would say it's maybe it's a hero full situation. I think some of what you're doing is in fact heroic in a economic sense, in a sustainability sense, in a you know I'm an ecologist by training, I'm a botanist by training, and I'm a plant person just because I am. Okay.
Hmm.
And we've co-evolved with these beings, all right? And the people that grow them and tend them, okay, and make sure that I don't even know what the word. They're genuine. They're part of the the process of producing them is a coevolution. We're working with the plants. And you're working with these companies, and you're going to tell us more about the cooperative, okay, that's helping with this. It's
Mm-hmm.
changing the ecology of the economy, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the sustainability that we need in the long run, and for, you know, healing climate change, healing ourselves. So I think it's kind of hero full. So I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what about the people in place? Where does your rose? Wait, you know what? I'm going to smell some rosemary first.
Yes, let's grab the rosemary.
In fact, I'm going to do a little bit. Dan, this is called Acuaroma Qigong. Okay, I'm putting a little bit in the
Okay.
palm of my hand. I'm rubbing it up.
Hmm.
Some people call this direct palm inhalation because it's directly on my palm, and then I directly inhale it. And I go inhale
Nice deep breath deep into your belly.
and then exhale.
Or at the top.
Do that again and again. And they say the third time is the charm.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I feel bad. I didn't take any rosemary with me down to my office here today.
Mm.
Well, we will hear.
We'll
We're
send it
sending
your
you some
way. We're
rosemary
going
right
to send it your way. And when
Yeah,
they figure out how to develop smell-o-vision, we'll all be able to smell at any time.
yeah, way beyond scratch and sniff. Yeah. So
Yes.
again, Dan, where's your rosemary oil from? Why is it special? I need to know more.
Yeah, let me tell this story, and I'm gonna, if it's okay, I'm gonna share my screen here and show you some pictures as I talk about it. See if I can make this work here. Here we go. All right, are you guys seeing my screen now?
I see some greenery.
Okay, so
Ooh,
we'll get to a nice. This is Safara from South Africa. We flew into Durban and then flew down to East London, and then drove a couple hours from there to meet Safara. And we got to know Tafara a couple years ago. He was actually one of our first suppliers that we created a partnership with. And it's really been just an amazing privilege for me to get to know him because the mission that they support there in South Africa is such a fun one. He's such a genuine guy, as you can see, an incredible smile here. Um, but Kobo Kobo was really started as kind of a business incubator.
mm-hmm,
And if you know the history of South Africa, it's been just, politically and racially, just a turmoiled place. And there's a lot of harm, and there's a lot of struggles that still exist today
mm-hmm,
from that. And so Tafara and their partners really created Kobo Kobo in order to bring revitalization to a community there in South Africa. And
mm-hmm.
South Africa has one of the highest unemployment rates in the entire world. They're living in a situation there where there's a lot of landowners who haven't really been taught or trained how to get value from land. And the land is amazing. It's incredibly fertile. It grows things incredibly well. But they just need somebody to walk alongside them and help them process. And
Right.
so this is Safara, and I'll take you through a few of our other pictures here. So this is their nursery.
Seedlings, yeah.
And so they really do start to finish. So they find a partner, and I'm going to tell a story about one of them named Precious in a little bit here.
And that was
You know,
precious.
her name is Precious, yes. And so they find a landowner who isn't making it, isn't making things work, and they need to provide for their family, and they're not equipped to do so. And they first of all they provide them the seedlings from the
Mhm.
nursery to make sure that everything is completely pure plant wise from the start. And then from there they go on to This is the guy who helps kind of run this nursery here.
Mhm.
But from here, they go on to, teach them how to plant it, teach them how to cultivate it, teach them how to harvest it, and they really walk alongside of them throughout this whole process. Here's me, you know, trying to harvest some of this rosemary. They harvest it by hand with these little sickle blades. I was
Mhm.
terrible at it, absolutely awful. I would have been fired on the first day, in the first hour had I been allowed to continue. Um, but yeah, it's providing all of these for this community as well. So it helps this
Yes.
landowner out who is trying to provide for her family, and then they're providing all of these extra jobs for this community as well. Here, this guy's criticizing me for how bad of a job I'm doing. I think um, some more harvesting pictures here,
Yeah.
and and then I'll get into this is the distillation process. Then, so after they harvest it, they take it to their distillery, and this little distillery here has really become kind of the center point of this little community.
Mhm.
They have a little farmers market that they host, allow lots of other people from the community to come in, bring their goods and services to this place, and it all kind of centers around this distillery here. So here they're packing the rosemary down into the distillation tank. Here it is kind of sitting in bags before it goes in there. And then
Mhm.
this is our friend Texas. And she we have a video on our website that kind of tells her story. But as she was telling her story, she's in tears, just out of gratitude for what Kobo Kobo has done for her and her family and how they've walked alongside of her. And she just said, without them, I was nothing, and we didn't know where to go. And now
Right.
she sees hope and she sees a future. And she's making this incredible product, which is giving, these blessings to other people as well. So this is Precious. This is my wife, Latricia, and Precious. So they got to meet and they
Sweet.
just developed a really fun bond. It was really fun to watch. Here's her kind of interviewing and telling her story. Here's my wife, Latricia, and I in Precious' field, and some more pictures of this rosemary. And then this is kind of the team who was, working on this field this day as we visited there in South Africa. And there's Safara again. So fun to just make partnerships and build these relationships as I go around the world.
Mhm.
Um, and then
So,
the other thing, oh, go ahead.
so the process, and I'm also thinking about rosemary as being rosemary is used for every part of life. We think
Hmm.
of it that way, and it has this uplifting and circulating energy to it. And I feel that in the community. I don't know if it's because I have rosemary on my hands, and I feel like when I'm looking at these pictures, I can actually be there. This is one of the benefits today. But tell us a little bit about the process of so they've harvested these essential oils and then they're going for testing to get the
Hmm.
MSGS, the standardization for the testing. And then
Right.
how does that then come to you to distribute?
Yeah. So, um, yeah, they harvest it. They produce the essential oil. One thing I really love about them is, some places in the world are, these huge companies, and they have all this incredible equipment that, can separate out every single compound and can manipulate things and things like this. But this is just a very simple pure process here.
Mhm.
And they have great equipment to produce, you know, all they have the ability to do is produce the 100% pure essential oil,
Right.
and no ability to, do any further manipulation to it. And so it's fun to partner with somebody like that because what you're going to get from them is that thing that you want. You just want that 100% pure natural. But yes, they send it off for a GCMS test.
Mhm.
They send us those results. And then our process is we get a sample from them. We send it to our third party um, testing company called Phytochemia. They're in Canada and just one of the world's best. They have some experts there who know everything about every essential oil and every compound, and they have tens of thousands of data points in their system to know, hey, if we get a sample of rosemary from South Africa, this is exactly what it should look like. This is what the profile should look like. And so
Right.
we send our initial sample to them before we even place our order to make sure it's exactly what we think it should be. And then we submit our order. They ship it to us. It takes, of course, a couple months to get here because it's so far away. And then when it arrives, we do another test on that shipment
Right.
to make sure it matches the pre-sample, and that everybody knows that, we know that when we're giving it to our customers, that it is exactly what it should be, and it's exactly, the same as the initial sample as well.
That is awesome. Do they
I'm,
have a specific time of the year that they're harvesting this? Because I know there's a cycle around the world of when things, when you should purchase essential oils for their peak potential.
Yeah, I believe that they have 2 or 3 harvest time. I think it's like 3 harvest times a year.
harvest year. Yeah.
So we were there in May of this past year, and so they were kind of harvesting at this time. But yeah, it's about, I think it's about a 4 month kind of growth cycle in between harvest times generally. So
Nice.
I think that's generally how it works.
I think that you brought up a good point that I don't think a lot of people in the aromatherapy industry are aware of. And that is there are companies that purchase from these small farms and then they go and chemically manipulate those essential oils. And there's really no way that unless you can go and behind the scenes and find that out. So I love the transparency that your company has about how they're sourcing and what their standards are. And I think that makes you stand out as a leader for the future of essential oils because we get that honesty that I can't work with essential oils that aren't pure because of the work that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that's very important to me.
Yeah, it's the real deal. It's genuine, all of those terms. I actually went on your website this morning to take a look at the chemical profile, 15 pages of assay. Well done. They even have the graph so you can actually see the fingerprint, quote unquote, of the plant.
Beautiful.
One of the things I love is I look for the verbone, I look for the camphor, I look for the cianol, all right? And each of the 3 different rosemary chemotypes have all of those just in different ratios. And then there's all these other chemicals that are unknown or like 65 letters put together with dashes in between them. And it's like, what? I have no idea what that is. Neither does the chemist who found it hasn't named it yet. They've just drawn a picture of it with a few, words or letters and numbers. And there's even many of them that are unknown because these are plants. They make a whole lot of chemistries, not just the ones we're after. And what I love about rosemary too is it's a culinary herb. Okay. When I'm teaching chemistry, I try not to geek out too much on it, and I try and say we're talking about cooking. Okay, because the plants are cooking their chemistry to grow and live their life, to have their flower, to have their fruit, whatever. Okay, and it has beautiful and inexact, but also as scientific as that all at the same time, and we get to taste it. We get to, and it has medicinal effects. Plus, it's great with chicken and rosemary bread and etc. All right. So it's really that you share the chemistry and that the chemistry shows by its profile the genuine fingerprint that this was not laboratory adulterated or created, but grown. And you can even locate it by the fingerprint because some of the soil and its effects on the chemistry. Yeah. Or the flavor.
Our whole goal is just to try to have a process that's just fully transparent. And so we want you to see the people, we want you to see the farm, the process that we are procuring it. The third-party testing is a huge part of that transparency. There's a lot of companies out, some companies don't share any of that information. Some companies share it, but it's their own internal lab. And I think I trust a lot of companies out there, but I don't trust all companies out there. So we've decided that it's better to have that done by a third party,
Sure.
and share that, so it's not just our own view of it. And then, from there, we just want to provide that so that you can see it instantly. And, you can come to a website and say, I know when I come to the Nature Package website, I just know it's a place that I can trust the quality because everything's right there.
Yeah, great.
Well, and you can learn about the quality. That's one of the things I like about diving into the website, is that there's resources there that I can open up and learn from.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Thank you
posted
for that.
in
I
the
appreciate it.
chat. I put in the chat some of the links to the YouTube video and some of the synergistic sourcing pages on the website, and then the spotlight of Kobo Kobo. I have a question about Kobo Kobo and working with the farmers. Do they take them through the process of how do we amend the soil properly? What, how teaching the people who own this land how to tend to it in a natural way?
Yeah, absolutely. Sustainability is a huge part of everything that they do. And so, it's how to take care of the soil, it's how to plant it, how to water it at the proper times and dosages. It's how to harvest it sustainably. It's how to, how to grow it in a way that, you don't need to add any of these, any extra synthetics or pesticides or things like that. Because really that's the most, not only is it the healthiest way to grow it, but it's economically, it helps them derive the most value by not having to apply those things as well. And so it's really, it's an approach that is holistic in how it operates. And then really the other thing that I really love about them is, they're not just an essential oil producing company. When you look at their mission statement, it's really about uplifting people. They have a program that they provide early nutrition for infants and toddlers. One of the huge issues in their society is just that infants and toddlers don't get proper nutrition. Because of that, it leads to all kinds of problems later on in life. And then they also have an early education program that they're providing in their community, so that kids can be ready for school and help them through their first years of school, so that they can, improve literacy rates and, do all these incredible things. And so I get excited about just the people part of Kobo Kobo. I love their rosemary. I think it's incredible. I love knowing that, like, when I left there, I was like, I need to find people to buy this rosemary, because when people buy this rosemary, they're going to love it. It's incredible. And it is going to uplift this community that I get to be a part of for a week. And so it's such a fun thing to know that not only are you getting incredible products, you're helping with early nutrition and early education, and helping people who are in a hard place just provide for their families. It's really, really fun.
Yeah.
Well, I know I want to go there now. So just let me know when your next tour is.
All right.
Well, Dan, I'm going to share with you an acupoint. Okay. It's
Yes,
right under the nose. Okay. It's called Person Center. All right. It's used for revival. It's a classic area for like a smelling salt to bring somebody back. If someone has chronic sinusitis, someone has even later levels of early dementia. Okay. Rosemary here will open up the sinuses, increase the circulation and oxygenation to the brain. Okay. And people, we think clearer. Okay. Along with breathing clearer, getting more good oxygen in there. So it's, you're talking about with the process, the developmental process, it's transformative for the people. It's transformative for the land. It's transformative as a medicine or as a medicinal.
Let's talk about how that actually happens, Joseph.
Okay.
Because we're dealing with the aromatic energetics, and we're dealing with the meridian system in the body, our Chinese meridian system. And on this point, what we do is we invite the fragrance or the aromatic energetics into that vortex, into that portal,
Mm-hmm.
to join up with that meridian and make all the chemistry shifts in the body that magically happen.
Yeah. I mean,
As we are dynamic individuals.
there's bones inside the sinuses, turbinates that make the air move like this, so it spreads out. The nasal nerve is very porous and really lit up by something like an essential oil. When those terpenes come to town, the brain goes, wow, and it goes through the nasal nerve. Um, there's a blood-brain barrier. So a lot of times you can't get a medicine in by eating it because it can't cross the blood-brain barrier. Terpenes are small. They get across the blood-brain barrier. They go on the bridge that's called the nasal nerve. And you notice it like that.
The only place in the body where those nerve endings are exposed to the open air.
Yeah, well, you want to get really crazy, okay? And we're talking about place. In the ethmoid sinus, where there's a cribriform palate, there's a bone with lots of holes in it that the spinal nerve is hanging down, right? In that ethmoid sinus, there's inclusions of magnetite. So from our evolutionary heritage as birds, we know where to go in a magnetic compass sort of a way, okay, by taking the air in, which is going to do things to the brain with all its aromatic compounds, but also it's inflecting and deflecting the magnetite in a way that creates a signal. So the bird knows, oh, I'm migrating this way. Okay. That might be a useful, we might call that something like intuition in a human being. Okay. We call it instinct in an animal. So maybe this helps me be more intuitive or more instinctive, more genuine. Wow. Yeah. Good medicine. Yeah.
Do you notice, Dan, when you go to these different places that are cultivating different plants, that you get a different feeling? Like you're more centered and focused because Rosemary has that. But maybe when you go to some place they're creating another one, you're picking up the vibes of those aromatics.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite stories is right after we left South Africa, we flew to Madagascar, and we flew to a little island off the coast of Madagascar called Nosy Be. And this is where like 70% of the world's ylang ylang essential oil is produced. And honestly, this island, like probably three-quarters of the island is just ylang ylang. It's just
Oh,
everywhere. And so you're just
Cash
we were
crop.
there a few days, and that's their main source of income on this island. But it's such a floral, like an incredible smelling plant, and it was all in bloom and in harvest, and
oh,
I just couldn't. Every time I walked outside, I just couldn't get over like, oh wow, this is such an incredible thing. But yeah, I think that it was such a happy feeling and thought process
you
there
got that
too. And when
euphoric.
I
Yeah.
smell ylang ylang now, it instantly takes me back to
Yes.
the island of Nosy Be, which is
Yep.
really fun.
Well,
Yeah, that bliss bubble. You got in the bliss bubble. It's a euphoric.
Hmm.
Yes, yes, yes.
Rosemary, it's for the remembering. That's
Mhm.
Ophelia from Hamlet, right? And
Yeah.
that memory has such a strong sense. A kid in their blankie,
Mhm.
my daughter Maya was into smelling people's shirts, like, oh, and just kind of remembering and knowing by that, you know, extra sensory, by actually coming to your senses, not just the visual, not just the auditory, but more fully. Yeah, and I loved the picture you showed, Dan, of your wife and Precious. Okay, there is something about well-tended land that makes communities happen and relationships happen.
Mhm.
I, I I'm going to call it magic, but I think it's really very human, very natural magic. And when we're literally co-evolving our economics with the plant ecology, and if eco translates as home, ah, that's home cooking when it comes to Rosemary.
We have another point, don't we, Joseph? Let's
Oh,
talk about
large
our other
intestine
point.
11. You want to show us that one?
Large intestine 11, right there.
Yes. Yes, we can.
So find that. No, I feel like Rosie the Riveter and Sturdy Women here.
Rosemary the Riveter.
Yeah, Rosemary the Riveter. Going to the end of that crease as you bend your elbow, and there's a little well there. That's large intestine 11.
Yeah.
All right. Do the magic. You can
Big
actually,
one for the immune system of the upper body, for the skin, for the lungs, for the sinuses, opening them up, clearing out heat, clearing out inflammation.
it's a good one to use going into winter, keeping our lungs.
Well, I love this too. Okay, South Africa, it's the height of summer there.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and we're here in the dead of winter. Yeah, so you can actually put a little bit of summer at your elbow.
Right. Bring in that wisdom and magic of Rosemary. Yeah. Because lung and large intestine are partner meridians in Chinese medicine. We're helping each other with lungs and large intestine.
I see a hand raised by Mimi. Mimi, you got a question? You wanna?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Can you please show me again the exact acupressure point on the arm that you just showed us?
Okay, so we're going to the end of this crease here.
Now, so
Drop.
Angela, put your finger right in there. Okay, then open and close your elbow. That makes you go deeper and deeper into the point. The more close it is, the deeper and yeah, you can get.
Got it.
Points are basically in the spaces between two other somethings. Okay, they're the nothing between two somethings. Between tendons and ligaments, between bone and tendon. They're a little nook or cranny. That's a pretty big nook there. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I hope you have fun playing with that point in oil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally, it is very I mean, this time of year in an acupuncture practice, large intestine 11 is one of the most commonly used points. Like it 60-75% of the treatments, if not every one. I tend to, treat very seasonally. And so it's in there all the time now.
I use this point a lot with women going on their menopause journey because it'll release the heat of a hot flash. So I'll use something like Mei Chang to help vent that heat. So
I have a question. I don't know if you can answer me. People with dysautonomy cannot have acupuncture treatments because it can trigger the dysautonomy episodes. Is this the same with acupressure?
Usually not, but it's going to be on a case-by-case basis. What was the name of this order again?
Dysautonomy. It's formerly, I think, known as vasovagal syndrome.
Okay.
vasovagal syndrome. Okay.
Okay. So, and they have a tendency to faint?
They have a tendency to either faint or have pre-syncopes. And become very disoriented or dysautonomous, basically like they can't control their body at a moment, at any moment in particular. But I believe it's also related to the energies around them.
Right.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. That's why using the aromatic frequencies on these points, it's so gentle. The energetics of the aromatic meet the body where it is,
Right.
It meets the body and says, hello, I'm an organic material. We can have a communication together. And then the body takes what it needs.
Let me add to this. With acupressure, you can basically vary the pressure to be very light. In someone who's got a vasovagal syndrome, okay, that may be a much more appropriate pressure. Or in parallel with the essential oil, what I would do was probably dilute it way down. Probably with the rosemary, I might get to a 5 or 10 and try someone with that. Okay. So you match the sensitivity of the system. And let me make one point on this one. One of the things I hate hearing is people who have been told that they're too sensitive. Okay. And that your immune system is too sensitive. Okay. In the world of music, would you want an insensitive violinist to play for you? No, their sensitivity is what makes it exquisite. So, as practitioners, okay, I want to sense the sensitivity of someone else, hear it from them, but also, calibrate it in process. And I can calibrate my pressure. I can calibrate a needle and depth. I can calibrate the choice of oil and the dilution of the oil. So there's a lot of room in there to see if we can make the medicinal work for the particular person and their exquisite sensitivities.
Yeah, and this is how we are developing and growing the world of acuaromatherapy with each practitioner's experiences that they're coming into the Facebook group or through the programs that we offer and giving feedback on what's working, what are individual people's experiences. And that is a beautiful way to grow a modality. And Dan, I see that in what you're doing too, because you're working with individuals, meeting them where they're at, meeting them where they are in the world, and helping them to thrive through making little adjustments and working with these other groups. So it's in so much alignment with what we are doing as practitioners. It's just sort of these different planes, but they sort of intersect in these beautiful ways. So,
Yeah.
Mike, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say it's a part of my job that I never knew I would enjoy so much. When we first started saying, "Hey, let's see if we can go find these essential oils around the world," I didn't know how just special the relationships and the benefits that you get to see at that personal level was going to be. It's been really incredible.
Yeah.
One of my other colleagues, Dr. Kelly Ablard, Ablard, she has the ARMID, ARMID Institute. I would love for you to connect with her because she's doing projects around the world. She just did a course in Croatia working with another aromatherapist who is cultivating, I think they were working with helichrysum maybe. But I think you and her would have a lot in common and a lot to talk about. She's going to actually be speaking at our NAHA conference next October, which is
I just heard her name 2 days ago for the first time. So
okay.
now I've heard her name twice in the same week. So it must be meant to be. I'd love
Yeah,
to meet her.
I traveled with her to as part of an aroma tour to the Azores this last June. So we were going and seeing geranium distillation and the Japanese cedarwood. So yeah, really some interesting and incredible producers as well. So tell us how everybody can connect with Nature Packaged and what you have to offer for us.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I'm gonna just take you to our website really quickly here and kind of show everybody how they can connect with us.
Yay.
So I'll share my screen here again.
It's really pretty easy. Even I can do it. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay, so here is our website. So it's just www.naturepackage.com. And as you jump in here, you can see, we have essential oils, we have some carrier oils, some other butters, waxes, salts, things like that. We also sell a ton of containers for those candle makers and kind of, makers, crafters. We have some really great products. We do offer some private label services. So if you're a company who is producing a cosmetic product or something like that with essential oils, and you're looking for someone to partner with you and help you to do the production, do the labeling, even doing some of the distribution for you, we do have that as a service as well. But then some of my favorite parts of our website are actually when we go into, if you click on our story here, you can kind of go into some of the meeting us a little bit. So how it all began. We have, over 50 partner farms, over 100 ingredients. We visited all of these farms in all of these countries worldwide. And then I really love our synergistic sourcing. This is something that we've been working. Oh, this is our collections here now. But if we go to our synergistic sourcing page, which is linked in the show notes here in the chat, it really just tells about our, our community. So our process is, we take it from the farm to the bottle. So here's all the places that we get our essential oils from. We really try to show you exactly what country they're all from. We go visit all these places. And then we try to take you on this journey of harvest, the extraction, the third-party verification, and then lastly, how do you use this in your home? So
That's
behind the harvest, yeah, that was lang-a-lang. You got it right. So behind the harvest part, this is just showing our partnerships around the world. This is actually highlighting. So this is Ylang-a-lang. This is actually Kobo Kobo. This story here is actually argan oil in Morocco, and where they're providing jobs for this women's cooperative. We're actually partnering with one of our suppliers to they're building a new school in Nosy Beach. And so right now, actually during the month of December, we're actually donating 10% of our sales to this school. So we're going to help build a new school in Madagascar. And then there's also, if you kind of go on our website right now, we have some opportunities for you just to donate to that cause as well. So a really neat way to, if you want to be part of something great, we got to go and visit this school, and there's 300 kids and there's 4 little tiny classrooms. And so they'll be building a whole new kind of addition to the school to allow those kids all to have, a place to learn. And then we take you through
the giving season. It's the giving season. So this is the time of year for people to
absolutely,
a little deeper in their pockets and donate.
And then we take you through the extraction process. So, mostly all of our oils are steam distilled, but of course our citruses are cold pressed. So there's a few different processes by which you can do this distillation. But for us, it's always important that it's not adulterated. It's 100% pure. Nothing's being added to it. It's just.
Are there any markets, Dan? Are there any markets for the hydrosols, the water byproduct of these essential oils?
There is markets for it. We actually don't offer any hydrosols currently. It's just really hard they're so heavy to ship. The value, it's just really hard to work economically. They're incredible products, and a bunch of our suppliers do offer the hydrosols. And we haven't done it yet, but I think that maybe that will be something we do in the future.
Yeah, shipping water's expensive.
It is. Yeah, and then it's not as inexpensive of a product as the essential oils. So it's hard to get that back. So then we take you through our testing process. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Angela.
Oh, I'm a small distiller. I have a 12-liter still, and so people just come to me locally and get my hydrosols. But because I don't have enough plant material to produce large amounts of essential oil, I mostly do locally sourced from my medicine garden some hydrosols. So
that's incredible. So then the last part is just you experiencing this in your home. So we want you to have quality. We want you to have fair prices. We want you to be in touch with the nature of all of this. And then we offer all of our products in a small user size of like 5 or 15 mil. And then we have an 8 ounce, a 2 pound, and a 25 pound size that we offer as well. And then, you can browse all of our products. And so, since we're in the essential oil world here, basically we have about 50 different essential oils. You will notice we do have I'll click into balsam fir here. We do have a membership in Nature Package, which is totally optional, but it's really just one of the ways that we try to build community around what we're doing. And so the way the membership works is it's $42 for the membership, but we actually give you a $42 voucher for your first purchase. So it's actually a free membership. But then if you're part of our community, then we give you 20% off all purchases on the website.
Incredible.
And so here you can see like the 15 mil is normally $12.99, but I'm signed in with my member account, so it's actually only $10.39. And it's the same for, same for all of the products. But for each product, we tell you all about the product. And, generally we also have a video that we will kind of show you. For example, I'll go into black pepper. There's a little video here at the end that, will tell you, pause that.
Right.
Nice.
A little video to tell you about it as well. Close that there. But yeah, so that's our website. So you can kind of browse and, find lots of incredible products. We'll learn about the people and the place where they come from. And yeah, we hope to become, people's just trusted source for where they go when they need an incredible essential oil that they know they can trust. And we want to partner with you in that.
Wow. This has been really fun. I love this. And I just want to thank you so much for being with us today, Dan, and sharing your world. And like I said, you got to organize a tour, because I know there's people who want to go.
We actually had a conversation about this last week. What I think maybe next year we need to get something organized and offer it up to people who want to go and experience. I think my job is just the best job, because I'm the one who gets to go on all these visits. And I have all these incredible memories and experiences that I have, and I just can't even explain them to most people. Like, most people don't even have a category for what that is like. And so I think you're right. I think we need to get something organized, so we'll start working on that.
I remember when we were in South Africa, in Egypt, and we would be in the tour bus and we'd come into these little villages, and these kids have never seen, people from the Western world, and they're running behind our bus and they're so excited to meet us and share and have pictures taken with us. And it was just the sweetest thing. The people are so amazing. So I feel that with what you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Joseph, do you have any closing remarks?
Well, two words keep going through my head. Stewardship, which is really, it's non-industrial farming. It's a stewardship of the land, working with the land as a resource rather than working on the land. Some subtleties there, but they play out also in the whole developmental, helping these people grow their local community, grow their local economy, grow their local schools, grow their local business, right? Coevolution. One of the reasons I love rosemary as a plant, it has this flower that opens kind of like this, and a bee can come in and put the proboscis in, and the anthers drop down on the back of the bee. So it's like a perfect Amazon handoff, Amazon shipping handoff of the pollen. And then the bee backs out and they go back up. Okay. They've co-evolved that. We co-evolve with rosemary, as you're doing it right now in this cultural co-evolution. Okay. And this, again, is the kind of the co-evolution we need to do as a culture, as a planet, as, people living in community with each other and with the natural world, to serve, share, heal. But besides that, seems like a good thing to do. Yeah, really an honor.
We always try and bring a variety of different people to the table here at the Magic and Wisdom. Next month, we're going to talk to Cecilia Ellert, who is a French aromatherapist, and she's taking things with MIT into the next realm of quantum physics. So it's sort of next level acuaromatherapy. So hopefully we'll be doing that with oils as we each purchase some.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, thanks, Dan, for being with us. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We will be sending out a recording of this so that you can share with your people and more of our people.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Good.
and I'll send the link. We did a little video of our school project in Madagascar. So I'll send that along with a giving link in case anybody wants to join with
Cool.
Oh, that'll
our
be
cause
great.
for
We'll
the month
share
here
that.
in
Yeah.
December as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Okay.
This is the sharing season. Be generous and help make some difference around the world.
And I just
Yeah.
want to say thank you all for doing this. Thank you, Angela. I put Kelly's
Yes.
website in the chat.
In the chat.
Institute. Thank you very much, Nancy, and thank you for being here today.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Sandra, thanks.
Yes,
All right.
thank everybody. And thank all of you that are going to be watching this later. Okay. And working with some rosemary essential oil, working with governing vessel 26 to open the sinuses, open the mind, calm the mind, clear the mind. Large intestine 11, yes, she can. Rosemary the Riveter, okay? For the immune system, for clearing heat out of the upper body, even like a hot flash heat. Hey, good medicine, very good medicine.
Or even if you're feeling like you've got some stuck energy and you just need to clear things out a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it can help kind of thin out the elbow grease. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. All right, everybody.
Here, got to do this.
Sign off with some good energy to one another.
And you get to do this too, okay?
Do this too. Yeah. All of our woo-woo stuff.
It's very woo-woo, but you can actually feel it. Okay?
I know.
That's the stuff.
Thanks,
And you got rosemary on your palms anyway. Hey.
That's right.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Dan, again, an honor. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.